Alright, hey, it's Vega here, and so this is the results part of the video, alright? So, I always like to go over the results. There's only like 4 of us, so there's really not much to go over. It's the day after the race, and I'm hurting pretty bad, alright? Yeah, Hades Mega didn't go over it, but I really should do some kind of exercises, alright? I just kind of haven't lately, alright? I'm not in the army anymore. They don't make me do PT tests, so the riding is my exercise, okay? But yeah, I think before I was trying to do squats or something. I think squats will help you, you know, stand up and sit down on the bike. That's where I'm hurting the most right now, is like where my knees and thighs are, alright? And obviously my ankle, because I freaking twisted it, okay? It's ballooned up. It's like it looks twice as puffy as the right one, alright? So I'll say, alright? I'm wearing an ankle brace right now, but I'm not lying. Like that's not the first time I've injured that ankle. Okay, so I've injured it doing the exact same thing, like both of them too. So I have a bad habit of keeping my feet on the foot pegs like this, you know, and then it gets like ripped off, you know. I gotta remember, hey, if there's anything low, sticking up high on the trail, just sit on the seat and raise your legs, man, because I don't want to mess up my feet like that. All right. Yeah, I've had like too many ankle injuries, man. That's why I can't run anymore. So, anyway, let's go take a look at the results. They just came out. They came out today. Yeah, today or last night. So they got them up there pretty fast. So let's check them out. All right. I'm just gonna go over the electric class, and we can and Hades Mega likes to compare to other classes. The only classes that we can compare to are the people that did the red loop. All right. So all the guys with the red stickers in the back of the group. We can compare with them, all right? And Hades Mega pretty much raced the whole race. I raced the whole time. So, okay, I didn't just do like 3 laps and call it quits, all right? Like they, you know, and I'm going to talk about, you know, what the results of the race and what I think about it, okay? All right, let's check it out. All right, here we are. This is the Moto Tally results from Virginia City Grand Prix. All right, you can see I've already set it to 2023. And this is the Sunday result. Well, they have like all the results here, okay? But this is Sunday overall. We won't be on here, guys, because these are the guys that did the full course, all right? Notice there's no adventure, there's no divas, there's no vintage. Those are the guys in the back, okay? But these guys are the true heroes. They race the full course. That's what I'm gonna say, all right? We just got a taste of it, guys, a taste. All right, but right down here is what we're interested, electric. All right, so here's the electric class. All right, like I said, there was 4 of us, but there was 5 of us signed up. I think Quinn's friend was supposed to race, and he didn't show up. So I think that would have been another Sauron. Yeah, so let's go over the contenders. All right, here's me, Merlin Valencia. In first place, rider 903, all right? Obviously, I ride a 2018 Sauron Light B MX, okay? The classic Sauron, all right? The oldest one. And then, number 900, Ted Ellswick. All right, good old Ted, man. Me and Ted have been battling it out for 3 years now, man. It's been a lot of fun riding with them. And so Ted is not riding a Husky. He's riding a Cake Calc, all right? I forgot which one the dirt bike model is. I think it's the and or the or, one of those. Maybe it's the and, I'm not sure. There's a dual sport model and there's a dirt bike one. I'm pretty sure he has a dirt bike one. Okay, and then bike 904 was Hampton Coons, all right? He was the big dude riding on that a Sauron Light B Double X, all right? Double X Sauron, all right? That's a factory, yeah, I guess you can call it factory or Lunicycle modified Sauron Light B, all right? You know how I could tell? The controller looked stock, but it looked different. It said Luna on it, all right? And so that's how I knew it was a Double X bike, all right? It's a slightly more powerful stock Sauron, all right? And then there was Quinn's Coons, all right? And he was the 901 bike, riding a stock Sauron Light B X. I'm pretty sure it was X. It was a Blue X bike, though. I don't know if they sell Blue X bikes. That's a good question. I didn't ask him. Maybe he'll chime in. I don't know if it was a X or MX, because I remember at some point Lunicycle just said we don't want to sell colored bikes anymore. We're just going to sell black bikes. So that's why you see so many black Sorons around. Believe it or not, Hades Omega's bike is not black. It's carbon colored. It's gray. Okay, so they don't sell that color anymore. Okay, and then the 902 bike is Jack Clark. I think that's Quinn's friend that did not show up. All right, so for whatever reason didn't show up, so he lost his $100. Like he didn't even race. So okay, all right. So here's the results. Me first place, and everyone else got DNF. All right, so here's I want to talk about this real quick, guys. So this is like a kind of controversy here. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the Virginia City webpage, okay? Okay, so this is the race info webpage for Virginia City Grand Prix, okay? VCGP.com. All right, and they got all the information for the race right here. You know, this is the first day of racing. That's the Saturday race, and then there's the Sunday. These are the pros. This is how much money. Well, you get $2,000 if you win. Yeah, and they have to pay more money because they're pro riders, right? So, well, anyway, this is the one that pertains to us, the Sunday class racing, all right? And that Sunday is the kind of the crazy day of racing, all right? Where people race bikes that you shouldn't be racing out there, okay? Including us in the electric class. So here's the information for the electric class. Okay, so, well, yeah, we'll go over it, and then I'll go over why everyone got DNF. So the Sunday red loop was 8 to 15 miles, all right? So it was actually, yeah, they don't tell you how much the miles is. They just give you an approximation, but it was 10 miles, all right? A couple people, like Ted told me, and a couple other people told me, yeah, the red loop's going to be like 10 miles. And sure, I wasn't 100% sure until I did the first lap. I guarantee you it was roughly 10 miles, all right? Because when I came back to the pits, 10 miles was on my GPS, so it's true, it's 10 miles. Okay, so for the red loop, there's vintage, adventure, diva, dual sport, and then electric, okay? So here's the rules for the electric class. It's got to be a battery-powered, full-size motorcycle. Well, guys, Soron Lightbe's not really a full-size motorcycle, but we've been racing them, okay? Yeah, it's a mini bike, guys. That's the Caulk. I guess you can say the Caulk is a full-size motorcycle. It's close to a full-size motorcycle. I would say it is, okay? The Caulk is just slightly bigger than the Soron. I've ridden one before, right? It's a great bike. Okay, and then so you are scored on the first 3 laps, all right? So the first 3 laps, and then that's it, all right? So from my understanding, well, let's read the rest. All right, but then it says, but feel free to keep on racing as long as batteries allow, all right? So okay, so from my understanding, from doing this race for 3 years, all right, we get a shortened race, all right? We'll only do 3 laps. Once you do 3 laps, and that's your time, all right? And then so from what I understand, it says you can keep on going if you still have battery, but you only get scored on the first 3 laps. So once you do your 3rd lap, that's your time, all right? That's your score, basically, okay, for the race. So whatever place you came in after the 3rd lap, that's it, all right? So Hades Omega was, I kind of threw myself a challenge after the 3rd lap, all right? After I supposedly finished the race, I was in the pits, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to go out for a 4th lap. I'm really tired. This bike is just beating the shit out of me, okay? But I had the eBMX battery, and I just wanted to test how badass this battery is and how far this bad boy can go, all right? And I was just like, man, I kind of want to do it just for science, all right? Okay, just for science. I wanted to test out if we could do it, you know? And so my thinking was, all right, on the 4th lap, we would go back. I would take a long break, all right? So all the pit stops that I've been doing were just quick pits, all right? Swap the battery out, take a sip of water, you know, take a breather, and then head on back out. It shouldn't take longer than like a minute, all right? And I think that's where I got Ted, all right? Ted actually came in before me, and when we did the battery swap, I came in after him, but I did the battery swap super fast, and I just took off, all right? But Ted's bike was like kind of messed up. All right, that's, you know, bad luck type of thing. And then yeah. So anyway, I did the 3 laps, and I'm like hella tired. I got the EVMX battery in the bike, and I'm like, I wonder if this will do 2 laps. You know, I guarantee you, I bet you I probably could have done 2 laps on those other batteries too. So they had 70%, but I wanted to see if the EVMX could go to distance and do 2 laps. All right, so my reasoning for having the 3 batteries was last year's course was like 15 miles. It wasn't really that much longer than the full course, guys. It was half as long. All right, so you know how they say 8 to 15 miles? Well, they took up that maximum, the 15 miles, all right? 15 miles is literally like almost the whole battery, all right? It should be like about 75% of the battery, you know, 15 miles, because I can do 20 miles. That's what I know from riding my Sorat. All right, so I don't know how many miles this battery can do off-road, so that's why I was like, I want to give it a try. Okay, and I'm going to try it here at Virginia City. All right, it's a great, what better place to try it out? All right, so I said, all right, take a long break, take like a 5-minute break, all right, and then head on out and take your sweet time doing the last lap. Okay, just take it easy. I know I was super tired, but you know, the rest break helped a lot, and I went back out. You know, and I also, okay, another thing I wanted to do was, I wanted to be the first electric bike to do 4 laps in Virginia City Grand Prix. Everyone has only done like 3 laps for these 3 years, all right, or 2 years, until now, until Hayes Mega did it. All right, so I don't know, for whatever reason, they DNF'd all the other bikes, all right, because they didn't race the full 3 hours. But that's not what the rules say on the website, all right? In the rule book, all right, it says electric bikes get scored on the first 3 laps. So if you finish 3 laps, you should have finished the race, all right? Regardless if you still had time when you came in. Because when I came in, I still had like an hour left. I could have probably done 2 more laps, man. Not gonna lie, if I was fit enough, I probably could have done it. All right, but yeah, so that's a scoop. Everyone else got DNF, but Hades Omega, all right, because I did 4 laps and nobody else did. All right, so and I feel kind of bad because everyone else got DNF, and I don't think they're gonna get a trophy because of me. Okay. That, or they just changed the trophy rules that, you know, if there's only 4 racers, only 1 person gets a trophy or something. I don't know. They might have changed it. But every Virginia City Grand Prix that I've raced in, all right, the last 2 years, if you're in the results, if you came in 3rd, you know, you would get a 3rd place trophy, you know, at least. And maybe like a 4th place trophy, all right? But Hayes Megas only ever came in like 2nd or 3rd, all right? So I've got a trophy for I didn't even finish the race, you know. I had like, I barely did 2 laps the first time, and I did 3 laps the second time, but like I did horrible on the 3rd lap because my battery ran out of power, and they had to like kind of save me, but I made it back, and I got a time in. So yeah, so there's that. And I did get a trophy. They mailed it to me, all right, and they put your name on it and everything. They can't put your name on it if they give it to you at the award ceremony, okay? But they did have an award ceremony. That was a different thing too. They never had an award ceremony for like all the other racers. I think just certain classes got an award ceremony type of thing, all right? But they had like a full-blown award ceremony at the end of the day's racing, so that's kind of cool because you get the trophy right away. You don't have to wait like a month for them to make your trophy, all right? But I do kind of like this sweet trophy with my name on it. It's cool. It's really nice, man. But anyway, yeah, they had a lot of trophies, man. A lot of trophies is what I want to say. And yeah, so I was the only one that got a trophy. Like Ted they didn't give Ted a trophy. I was like, what the heck? Ted was there with me. I was like, that's odd. They've always given out trophies for the other places, you know, whoever placed in the electric class, because not that many people actually ride it, man. But for whatever reason, everyone else got DNF. So I don't know if somebody's gonna protest that or whatever, or say anything about that. Like, hey, yeah. So you guys, other guys that were racing with me, man, Quinn, Ted, and Hampton. All right, you know, just ask them, hey, do I get a trophy? Did I really DNF because I did 3 laps? And the rules are you're only scored on 3 laps. So if you finish 3 laps, you should have finished the race. All right, that's my understanding. All right, just because Hades Omega, just because Merlin did 4 laps, doesn't mean like everybody didn't finish it. All right, I kind of feel like I kind of threw everybody under the bus by doing the 4th lap. All right, that's why I legitimately feel bad, because like maybe they didn't get a trophy, or well, but they got DNF'd. All right, because of that. All right, hopefully they got their finisher pins at least. You know, like okay. There was only one rider that didn't finish. All right, and that was Quinn. And Quinn didn't finish because he could only do 1 lap. He didn't have enough charge to do the rest of it. So, and he rode really, really well. And we'll go check that out in the results right now. All right. So okay, that's what Hades Omega wanted to talk about. You know, the controversy. All right. Everyone got DNF'd but Hades Omega because I did 4 laps. So maybe they're thinking, oh well, electric bikes. Maybe that might be what's going to happen now. They're going to go like, oh, these electric bikes can race the full race. They can actually hang with the gas bikes. So we're not going to even do the 3 lap rule anymore. It's just race the whole 3 hours, you know. And so Hades Omega kind of raised the bar for the electric class. So maybe in the future we're going to have to just race the red loop with everybody else to just keep on going. So sorry guys, I made it harder for you guys. I know I'm trying to get more people to race with us in the electric class. You know, Hazemake is a big fan of racing electric bikes, but you can't race by yourself, all right? You have to have other people to race. So today we had 4. I think the first time we had like 5 or 6. That was pretty good for the first race. All right, and then last year we had 4 also. All right, and they were like all Surons. It would be nice to get a more mix of bikes out there, you know. There's other bikes than Surons, you know, but the Suron is the most affordable one, okay? And it just goes to show, Quinn was riding a stock Suron and he came in first from the first lap, all right? That just goes to show you don't need a fancy dirt bike, you know, to kick ass on this race. You just need one that can last enough for 1 lap, all right, and you got enough battery to you know, do the rest of the race. All right, anyway, let's check out the results. Okay, so here's the results of the race. All right, I'm just gonna, okay, I already talked about the DNF thing. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore, but like, yeah, so these would be what place they would be in if they didn't DNF, right? And in the way I see it, these guys did not, at least Ted and Hampton did not DNF, all right? These guys, they finished the race, all right? They did their 3 laps, like, you know, like the rules say so. All right. But anyway, here, first place, Merlin Valencia. Lap 1 was 35 minutes and 3 seconds. All right. I came in 3rd. All right, behind Quinn and Ted. All right. And then so Quinn had to retire after the first lap. All right. I'll go over mine a little bit more. And then after lap 2, I was at 1 hour and 13 minutes. Lap 3 was at 1 hour and 53 minutes. And then there's a huge jump to lap 4, all right? Lap 4, I literally took 1 hour, all right? I'll go over the lap times later. But so I finished the race with 3 hours and 1 minute, but 4 laps, okay? And then there's Ted, all right? Good old Ted racing the Cake Calc. He came in 2nd, all right, on the 900 bike, and his first lap was 33 minutes and 54 seconds. That got him in 2nd place behind Quinn. Okay, pretty amazing. That kid just came out here to ride and he beat me and Ted, man. It's nuts, right? It's crazy. All right, and then here's his 2nd lap was 1 hour and 18 minutes. So after that, so yeah, so Quinn can't race anymore. So that's why he wound up down here. All right. So it's me and Ted are really close. All right. So I'm 1 hour and 13 minutes. He's 1 hour and 18 minutes. So here's what happened with me and Ted. Ted took a long time to get out of the pits, man. Like I came in after him. I came in 2 minutes after him. See, 35 and 33. So I came in like like almost 3 minutes behind him, all right? And so he's already in the pits, and they're changing the battery on his bike. And his bike is not easy to change the battery on, not as easy as a Sauron, okay? So I was able to get out of the pits before Ted, all right? Ted was still at the pits before, when I left. And I did like a legit battery change, you know? It was took only like a minute, you know? And so I went out, and that's how I came in first on the second lap. I never saw Ted again on the second lap, all right? So he did a 1 hour and 18 minutes, all right? So here's Hampton, all right? Yeah, I'm doing the play-by-play, guys. So here, and we'll go over the lap times later. So here's Hampton, all right, on the Sauron, the 904 bike. And so I ran into Hampton, all right? So here's what it was. It was me, and I was riding with Quinn, all right? I was with Quinn until we got to that nasty hill climb, and then we kind of disappeared from each other, and I didn't see him again, all right? Well, apparently he caught up to Ted, all right? And he beat Ted. It's nuts, right? And then there was a... And then I ran into Hampton, all right? Hampton was already in front of me. I knew that. I saw a Sauron in front of me. I thought it was Quinn, but it was Hampton, all right? It's a big dude on a Sauron. And then I rode with him for a little while, and then I passed him, all right? He had some trouble getting over one of these water crossings, and that's when I passed him. I was riding with him. I was like legit trying to pass him, but like I couldn't. Like he was keeping a pretty good pace up. For whatever reason, I caught up to him really fast, and then I couldn't pass him because... All right, so yeah. So from my understanding, yeah, I did pass Hampton, all right? That's the only guy that I actually raced out there, all right, guys? I was kind of with Quinn for a while, then we got separated, and then I caught up to him, to Hampton, and then I passed them, okay? And so I came in second. Or no, I came in third. I came in third on the first lap, all right? And then so I left. Quinn couldn't continue on, all right? So he legit get the DNF, all right, guys? He only did 1 lap, so... If he went out again, he told me he had 38% at the pits. I was like, no, don't go out. You're going to be pushing your bike back, and it's not going to be fun. You don't want to do that, all right? Because I've done it like 2 years in a row, and that's no fun, all right? And then so so I passed Hampton, and then Ted is in the pits, and then I never saw Ted the second lap, all right? So. And Ted was having problems with his bike, and so that was why he couldn't ride very fast, all right? It's nasty stuff out there, man, I'm telling you guys. If you don't have a rear brake, if your bike isn't running in tip-top shape, it makes it even more difficult, all right, guys? So I made the second lap. I made the second lap at 1 hour and 13 minutes. Ted came in at 1 hour, 18 minutes, and so I guess Hampton was still out there. You know what? I wonder if Hampton even pitted. All right, please let me know, Hampton. Like what the dealio? What your story is? Okay. It looks like, from what I remember, he had the Qi battery or Chai battery. I don't know how you pronounce it. I have the Qi battery charger, by the way, guys. It's pretty good. And he has a bigger battery. He has literally like one of the better batteries, right? There's the EBMX and the Qi battery, and so I think he could legit do probably like 3 laps on that battery, man. Yeah, and he said he had another battery too, so he was ready for the race, all right. So anyway, the second lap I came in first, Ted came in second, and Hampton came in third. So I never saw Ted, and I never saw Hampton again, all right? I was hoping when I came out for the third lap that I would see Ted coming back, but I never did, all right? So he must have he was like 4... He was about 5 minutes behind me. So yeah, there was a significant gap between me and Ted. And then I was, man, almost like 20 minutes in front of Hampton. He must have had some trouble on something, all right? Chime in, Hampton. All right? Anyway, so the third lap. All right, here we go. The third lap of the electric race. Hayes Mega came in 1 hour and 53 minutes, all right? I didn't see any of these guys again, and none of the positions changed, all right? So I came in at 1 hour 53 minutes. Ted came in at 2 hours and 4 minutes, and Hampton came in at 2 hours and 3 minutes. All right, And then Hades Omega was, yep, I think I'm gonna do a fourth lap. My body says no, but my mind is kind of dumb right now. And that's okay. I think I want to do a fourth lap to get my money's worth. All right. So I went out and I did the fourth lap. All right. And it took nearly like more than an hour for me to get back. All right. I came back right after the race had finished. So if you watch the bonus video, all right, the bonus video is the lap 4 video. All right. Because that lap in my Hades Megas, mine didn't count. I was just out for like a Sunday ride, all right, because it was Sunday, right? I was just taking a sweet time, smelling the roses, you know, smelling the flowers. That's what I say, all right? So yeah, I took my sweet time on that last lap. Or anyway, so here's the other stuff. So here's the lap times, all right, guys. So I on the first lap I did 35 minutes, and the second lap I did 38 minutes. And the third lap, I did 39 minutes. So you can see the times are getting higher and higher. The first lap could probably be the fastest because this is including your pit time, all right? So I probably added an extra minute or two going into the pits, all right? So that's probably why these times are higher, okay? Because in my opinion, I felt like I was faster on the second lap. So it's kind of like a bell curve, guys. Hades Omega's kind of, you know, feeling his way through the course, trying to figure out, you know, what's going on, this and that. I'm doing a sighting lap on the first lap, so I take my time, all right? And then the second lap, I go faster. I try to up the pace, and I'm already warmed up. I've felt really tired on the first lap, guys, already. But the second lap, I felt like I was going faster, all right? But then the third lap, I'm going even slower. So you figure like I would probably get faster the second and third laps, but I didn't. All right, but also the pit times probably chip into that. All right, yeah. So 39 minutes, and then my last lap was 1 hour and 7 minutes. Like I said, I took my sweet ass time on that last lap. I was hurting so bad. All right, I felt fine when I left, but then after about like a quarter of the way through, I was like, I'm hurting pretty bad. I don't want to race anymore. Okay. Okay, so here's Ted, 900 on the caulk. He came in second place on the first lap with 34 minutes, all right, 33:54. And then the second lap, he had 45 minutes, and he came in second. And then the third lap, he came in 45:07, all right? So Ted was very consistent in his placings is what I'm going to say, all right? But yes, I guess since Ted had problems with his brakes, it really killed his times, man. His time was 10 minutes slower than his first lap for his second and third laps. So tough luck, Ted. So that's what I say. It happens, man. It happens to everybody. Okay, so 904 bike, Hampton, all right, on the Sauron double X bike. 46 minutes for his first lap, all right? So he must have had some troubles out there, all right? Way more than all of us, all right? Because Quinn nearly got 14 minutes on Hampton, all right? Quinn had 14 minutes on Hampton. I had, like, not 14, wait a minute, that's 10? Yeah, no, Quinn had 15 minutes on Hampton, all right? And then Ted had 13 minutes. Ted had 13 minutes. All right, and I had like 10 minutes on Hampton, 10 or 11 almost. Okay, and then so Hampton was pretty consistent. All right, 46 minutes for his first lap, 46 minutes for his second lap, and I don't think he pitted in at all. That's from what I understand. Yeah, I don't think he pitted in at all. And that Qi battery is pretty awesome, man. He had the 60 volts, so 60 volts, not that much power, guys. I think he had the 60 volt battery. I'm not 100%. Maybe he'll chime in, but I know he had the double X controller, so it has a little more power. But he had the 60 volt battery with the cheap 60 volt battery. So that battery is designed to have more range, guys, and it's at the cost of, like, you know, just stock power pretty much. Okay, but he did pretty good on his third lap. I think he must have been getting in his groove, and he had like a 41 minute lap for his third lap, right? And he came in third. Yeah. And then Quinn, oh dude, Quinn. All right, this kid riding the 901 bike on pretty much a stock Sauron X, all right, Sauron X bike, Light BX. He got 31 minutes and 40 seconds. All right. Just destroyed us on the first lap, guys. Just on a stock Sauron, guys. So all of our bikes have been like modified. Like mine probably my and Ted's bike have like the most modifications. All right, and Hampton's bike was, you know, it was had a moderate amount of modifications done to his bike. All right, Quinn was riding a stock bike, and he destroyed us on the first lap. Hats off to you, dude. You did great. You know, I was amazed. Me and Ted were legit amazed at the way he rode. All right, he just destroyed us. Not only did he destroy us, he pretty much destroyed everybody riding the red loop, guys. If there was an overall, you know, he probably would have came in first for overall. It's nuts, right? But he couldn't continue on because he only had one battery. He had 38% after the first lap. Okay, guys. And then there's his buddy Jack Clark. He didn't show up at all. So what can I say? You don't show up, you can't win the race, right? All right, and so these are the times behind the leader. All right, so ooh man, look at the way Hades Omega just dominated after first lap. All right, I went from third to first going out for the second lap because Quinn couldn't continue and Ted was still swapping his battery. Okay, and then Hades Omega was able to keep that lead for like 2 laps, all right, or 3 laps if you count my 4th lap. The 4th lap doesn't count, guys. All right, and then yeah, so Ted was behind Quinn 2 minutes, and 3 minutes. I was behind Ted 3 minutes. No, it says behind leader. This is behind leader. Okay, yeah. I was 3 minutes from Quinn. Ted was 2 minutes from Quinn, and Hampton was 14 minutes from Quinn. All right, it's quite a stretch there. All right, so me, Ted, and Quinn had a pretty close race for the first lap. All right, is what I want to say. All right, and then so after that, I just destroyed everybody. All right, Hades Mega wound up being the leader, and Ted was behind me 5 minutes, and then Hampton was behind me 19 minutes. All right, and then it just continued from there. Ted was behind me 11 minutes almost, and then Hampton was 20 minutes behind me. All right, so I had a good, from Ted, I had a like 11-minute win. All right, guys, I crossed the finish line before 10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes ahead of Ted, man. Woo! All right, I finally whooped Ted, guys. All right, yeah, I know. I don't wanna brag too much, but yes, I finally beat Ted. Yeah. All right. It's been a long time coming, but I'm not gonna lie. You know, Ted didn't have the greatest of luck in this race, is what I want to say. All right. Okay, and then behind this is the one next place. Okay, so yeah. So the way this works is I was 1 minute behind Ted, and then Ted was 2 minutes behind Quinn, and then Hampton was 10 minutes or 11 minutes behind me. All right, and then on the second lap, yeah. I'm kind of going over it again. I was ahead, then Ted, and then Hampton. All right, Ted was 5 minutes behind me on the second lap. Hampton was 13 minutes, and then I was 10. I doubled it, guys. It went, yeah, the gap widens by double every lap between me and Ted. It's nuts, right? so it was like 2 minutes, but this is behind Quinn though. But then it switched to me, and it went up to like 5 minutes, and then the third lap it went to like 10 minutes. Like Ted just kept on getting slower and slower. Okay, and then Hampton was 11 minutes behind Ted. No, behind me. But then when we switched places, he was 13 minutes behind Ted and 9 minutes behind Ted on the third lap. All right, so. He actually got faster on the third lap. That's kind of nuts, right? By the third lap, I was like dead, you know. All right, this is the summary. I don't really know what this is. This is where we live, all right, guys. I'm from San Jose. Ted is from Fernley. That's kind of near Reno. It doesn't say where Hampton's from. Quinn is from Bolinas, California. And this Jack Clark guy that didn't show up was from Mill Valley. Okay. And I think that's it. All right. So now this is the time that Hades Omega is going to compare times with everyone else. So I'm since I did 4 laps, the rest of everybody else on the red loop, they were just basically they race until the 3 hours is up, and whatever time you get for how many laps that you got, that's your score. Okay, guys, that's how that works. So I'm gonna pretend that I was racing the full. Well, actually, I really did. I did take 3 hours to race. All right, guys. So I took me. Let me write this down, and then we can just compare. Okay, guys. So this is how I'm doing it. I just wrote it down on a piece of freaking paper. All right. So I've got for the 3rd lap 1 hour 53, and the 4th lap 3 hours and 1 minute. All right. So it took me 3 hours and 1 minute to do 4 laps. All right. So we're going to go check out the other red loopers. We're going to do comparison with the red loopers. And so I believe red loop is vintage, all this down here, right? Vintage, adventure, diva, and dual sport. All right, so we're going to go to vintage. All right, I'm not going to lie, dude, these vintage guys were really good. I thought they were slow because for some reason I felt like I was passing vintage bikes all the time, all right? But that didn't seem to be the case, all right? I'm not going to go over the lap results. I'm just going to go over like how we kind of placed when these guys finished, okay? So this Don Williams guy, the 803 bike, he destroyed us with 6 laps, all right? There's no way we could have kept up with him, all right? Jason Shakespeare on the 801 bike, 3 hours and 13 minutes, destroyed us with 6 laps, all right? Man, yeah, these guys are fast. The 800 bike, Mike Johnson, 3 hours and 26 minutes, destroyed us with 6 laps, all right? Tom Maples riding a Suzuki 802, destroyed us with 3 hours and 29 minutes doing 5 laps, okay? Chris Brady, all right? The 805 bike riding a Husky, destroyed us with 3 hours and 34 minutes, all right? Yeah, man. So yeah, we didn't place in front of any of these guys, man. Except for this guy. This guy got DNF. All right, so we did beat somebody. All right, this Austin Alley 804. Okay. I wonder what our first lap time is. Let me see what our lap times are. Yeah, I kind of want to compare the lap times. So 35 was my first lap. Yeah, so no way. Yeah, no way, guys. Yeah, no way. They were doing 30-minute laps. Oh no, we beat some of these guys. Yeah, like these guys. Somehow they got ahead of us. Maybe they did. These guys didn't pit in. That's probably why, you know. All right, but we're going by the cumulative times. All right, we didn't beat any of these guys. The vintage class destroyed us. All right, they got 5 laps in. All right, except for this guy, DNF. Okay, but then there's the adventure class. All right, and I believe this Nicholas Breschers was the guy riding the Tenere. Okay, I don't know who this Matt Carmen is. It doesn't even look like he raced. Maybe he didn't show up to the race because he doesn't even have a time. All right, but I think this Nicholas guy, I talked to him. He was riding a Yamaha Tenere 700. All right, it's a great bike, and he did 1 lap in 3 hours and 6 minutes. So we destroyed Nicholas. Okay, I just want to say we destroyed an adventure bike. All right, they did 1 lap in like 3 hours and 6 minutes. Okay, so that's like we were like 3 times as fast, pretty much. Okay, divas. All right, these are all the kind of novice women riders. Okay, they're female. You have to be a female to ride in this class. All right, but they race on the red loop with us. All right. So Alexis Vaughn, rider 832. We don't know what she's riding, but she beat us at 303. All right. No, she didn't beat us. We beat her. We beat everybody, guys. Woohoo! If Hayes make a race in the diva class, all right. If I got like a sex change or something, or you know, I probably could have beat all these ladies. All right, that's nothing to brag about. Sorry, guys. I don't want to brag about that. All right, that's not an accomplishment to me. All right, but anyway, yeah, we would have beat all these ladies because the number 1 rider was 3 hours and 3 minutes. All right, even with our pretty slow time of 3 hours and 1 minute, we beat Alexis. Okay, and so my third lap was 1 hour and 53 minutes. We were still faster than Alexis on the third lap. Okay, so we would have got first place in the Diva class. All right. And then there's the dual sport novice. All right, look at this. There's only 4 people here. All right, and this would look like 2 people didn't show up. All right, but this Daniel Hall guy riding a KTM on the 881 bike destroyed everybody in the dual sport class. All right, with 6 laps, 3 hours and 29 minutes. All right, there's no way we would have kept up with this guy. All right. Oh, here we go. We beat this guy though. Lance Coleman on a Husky. All right, 882. First lap, 46 minutes. We already beat him on the first lap. On the second lap, 3 hours and 2 minutes. All right, so we beat him by like a minute. All right, Lance Coleman on a Husky. We beat a Husky dual sport bike on a little electric bike, guys. That's an accomplishment. All right. By the way, my bike is also a dual sport, so maybe I could race in the dual sport class. That's a good question. I think you have to have like a 650cc motor or something. Yeah, so that's it. So the way it stacks up is we got destroyed by the vintage class. We beat the adventure class, we beat the diva class, and I beat one of the guys in the dual sport class. All right, the number 1 guy was super fast, man. Look at this. The dude did 6 laps on this KTM. Amazing, right? His lap time, his first lap was 34 minutes. That's impressive. 34, 34, 33, 35. Very consistently. This guy was a good rider, man. He just wanted to go ride with the dual sports, all right? I'm gonna say he destroyed it, man. Good job, Daniel. All right. Okay, and so with that, those are the results of Virginia City Grand Prix 2023. All right. That's how it happened in the electric. I went over the electric class and then the red loopers. Okay. Because we can't compare ourselves to the guys doing the full course because they rode way more than us. They rode like literally double the distance we did. And I heard their course was like, if you thought our course was hard, theirs is like twice as hard. All right, so hats off to you guys, man. Maybe I'll join you guys one day. Okay, but I think I'm fine on the red loop first. we'll hang out on the red loop for a while. All right, we'll hang out with the red loopers. And then I also compared it. Yeah, so we compared it to the red loop, and so I got killed by the vintage guys, man. Those guys whooped my ass. All right, and then we beat the divas, we beat the adventure bikes, and we beat one of the guys in the dual sport class. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't super competitive for the red loop, is what I'm gonna say. There was just a lot of vintage bikes and a lot of divas. Okay, other than that, everybody just had like 2, 3, 4 bikes. Even the electric class had like only 4 bikes. So please, if you have an electric bike, and you think you can race the Virginia, you want to race a very difficult race on an electric bike, and you want to have a good chance to win, all right? Because there's not that much of us. It's not super competitive. Come out and race, all right? Just make sure you have enough charge in your batteries, to last like 3 hours, okay? So this race was 30 miles, all right? If you did 3 laps at this race for the electric race, it was 30 miles. If your bike can go 30 miles, and I'm not talking like you don't want to be cutting it close. If you know your bike can do 30 miles, but you're dead at 30 miles, you want to have a buffer, okay? Make sure you have a buffer, all right? So make sure you can change a battery at like 20 miles, all right? I'm not joking around, man. Do not want to be pushing your bike out there on the course. It is not fun, dude, especially a heavy electric bike, all right? Not like the Suron's not very heavy, but I'm just saying, for example, all right? Like if you had like an Alta and it ran out of power, you would not want to push that bike, man. That thing is kind of heavy, is what I say, all right? Compared to a Suron. Okay, but yeah, please come out and race with Hayes Omega. I'm looking for more people to play with, man. Hayes Omega is a big fan of electric bike racing, and I want to go get more people out and racing with the electric bikes. I want to it's a new sport thing, right? Electric bikes is, and I can only tell you in the future there will be a lot of electric bikes. All right, there's more and more electric bikes coming out every day, so hopefully Hades Omega. Yeah, so the way Hades Omega sees it is, you know, electric bikes is challenging. All right, it's a different kind of animal. All right, electric bikes have a lot of advantages and a lot of disadvantages. All right, and so you just gotta make up for those disadvantages. All right, and use those the advantages to your advantage. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there was a lot of riders having difficulty out there, and the electric bike just made it so much easier for me compared to what they're riding. All right, but I just wish I had better suspension, is what I'll say. Okay, if I had better suspension, I think we probably could have done better, but I think everybody else was getting beat around also. Just want to say. All right, okay, so come and race Hades Omega at the Virginia City Grand Prix. All right, yeah, so that's the results. Okay, so Hades Omega came in first. All right, Ted came in second, and then Hampton came in third. All right, and then unfortunately Quinn had to DNF. All right, but he destroyed us on the first lap. Honorable mention to Quinn. All right, yeah, he destroyed the electric bikes on the first lap. All right, Hades Omega out.